If you can remember a time before compact discs and just downloading the latest music to your iPhone, you can probably recall the era of the local record shop. Every day new vinyl albums and 45s arrived there, and you could ask the clerk, who was often the owner, when your favorite group's next release was due or what other records they had that you might like. Well, a lot of that same feeling remains at Platterpus Records in Easthampton, and Connecting Point contributor Marla Zippay takes us to this record store that's still the way a record store used to be in tonight's Making It Here report.
Look, she's got Kurt files, very rare.
My name's Dave Witthaus, and I own Platterpus Records in Easthampton.
There you go.
What's happened over the years is it went from vinyl to CD, and so when that happened, you lost that whole 12-inch canvas, the artwork and all that. But now it's gone to MP3, where you get nothing. You get a little thing that scrolls across the screen and nothing else. And people are starting to realize, one, vinyl does sound better, and playing a record is an event. I mean, you actually have to get up, you have to take the album out of the jacket, you have to put it on the turntable, you have to drop the needle, you really can't run around your house when you're doing it, and it makes the music, I think, more real. My customers are actually, amazingly, are younger people. I mean, there are some people my age, but I get a lot of people under the age of 30 who are just getting into records for the first time. And I think one of the things that I've always done is I've never really become a collector store. I've never become a high-end store. I mean, you can come in here and probably walk out with 5 or 6 albums for, you know, $40. More than making money, or as much as making money, you want people to appreciate your store. You want people to say, boy, that guy was great. He turned me on to this record, or he allowed me to listen to this. So you really want people to be happy. And if you're just saying, no, buy this, and you're going to give me your $12 or whatever, and you may not like it when you get home, everybody loses then. The very first job I ever had in high school, I went to school in Long Island, was working at a record store. And from the second I got the job, it was kind of where I knew I wanted to be. I was in Westfield about 25 years. There were changes going on in Westfield. The building I was in, they were doing some work on that, and I realized it wasn't going to work out in Westfield. And there was also at that point a whole change in the music industry. People weren't buying CDs. Vinyl hadn't started to sell in enough quantity that you could make a living selling it. So I decided at that point, well, I'll give it a shot up at the Hampshire Mall in Hadley, and I would sell a lot of accessories, t-shirts, posters, that type of things, and almost make music the secondary thing. And then I closed the Hampshire Mall store and took 3 months off. And I lived in Easthampton at the time, and I really hadn't planned on reopening anywhere, let alone Easthampton. And I spent some time with my son. He was around 11 at the time, so we'd walk around downtown Easthampton, and I started to realize that this community was becoming a bustling downtown, and then this space, which I had always noticed because of the round windows, became available, and I moved down here. The 1990s were really banner years for all record stores. I mean, we all made money, we all had a great time, and then come around 2001, 2002, things started getting flat, and around 2004 the bottom fell out. And it was just fortunate that that's when vinyl started to make a little bit of a comeback, and I had that reputation from having that small rack in the store at all times, and it's really what's kept me alive. Every now and then a school would say, oh, you need to come and do a little talk about owning a business, and they would put me up on stage, and it's usually the branch manager from some bank and the head of the Chamber of Commerce. And they were all there in their suits, and they would always talk first, and they would give their little spiel about, you need a business plan, and then I would get up and I would say, forget everything they say, don't have a plan. And I think that's what has really kept me going this long, is that I've never had a plan. So the ability to change when records went to CDs, and then CDs died and has what's kept me alive. I mean, I just, I have a concept, but I don't have a plan, and I'm able to change and keep doing what I hope people want. The reason I do this is that I really haven't felt like I've ever gone to work. Every day it's sort of like I don't feel like I'm waking up to go to work. I come here, I have a good time. I mean, nobody needs a record. I mean, you need food, you need heat, you need gas. So when somebody comes in, they're buying something that they want. And the fact that they find it here and they enjoy it, and the best part is when somebody says, well, tell me a record that I might like. And they come back and go, wow, that was a great record. That's the best time.